Okay, hello everyone. Foul Play back here and doing something a little bit different. Doing a rush video. I've been at home sick the last 2 days um, and playing a lot of games online. So I've got a pretty good handle on the meta and how it's shaped now that the M21's come out. And there's two new decks that have come out that you need to have on your radar and you need to have a plan for. So the first deck is Goblins. Now, for those of you that don't know, Goblins got a really powerful um, addition to them. Where'd it go? Where is it hiding? I can't see it on this pile. Uh, Okay, that's a little weird. It doesn't seem to want to come up on this. I've refreshed the page and as such, and it doesn't seem to want to be there. I actually did go ahead and build the deck myself and give it a playtest and everything because it impressed me that much. So the card that they got a hold of was Conspicuous Snoop. Now this is a 2-mana goblin. They play with the top card of their library revealed. They can cast goblin spells from the top of their library, and as long as the top card of your library is a goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. So basically, they do a little combo where this is out on the battlefield. They get Kiki Jiki to the top of their library using the Boggart Harbinger. They make a million copies of Conspicuous Snoop, and then they shuffle their library and get Sling Gang Lieutenant on top of it, via probably another Bogger, I suppose. At which point they just shoot you in the face for 1 point of damage each goblin. Excuse me. So this is the deck. That's sort of the way it operates. Other than that, it's Goblin Pile Driver in it, which has protection from blue. So you might want to look at playing out your Glade Cover Scouts over your Bogles while this deck's still a thing. Just so you have the option to block this thing, because if they attack with like 3 other creatures, then it gets +6 and it's attacking for 7, and you just want to first strike block it, maybe with your Sentinel's Eyes or something. So was sort of a budget version of the deck that I made. Other than that, Conspicuous Snoop can be given haste by Goblin Warchief. There's no Lord in the deck that gives +1/+1 to goblins. It's mostly just around revolving the combo, getting value off of your different goblins. This puts 1 into your hand. This can put up to 4 into your hand depending on how many are on top of your library. And it's pretty scary, pretty fast, pretty consistent turn 3 deck. So the other deck that has jumped up and is around the place at the moment is actually a mono red deck. This is a $50 budget deck operating off of Chandra's Incinerator. So basically what they do is turn 1 they'll play a Seal of Fire, turn 2 they'll play a second land, they'll lightning bolt you to the face, they'll activate their Seal of Fire, they've dealt 5 damage to you. All of a sudden, this 6/6 with Trample costs 1 mana to play, and then they just smack you down. As you can see, they operate sort of similar to a Mono Red Prowess deck. They've got their Monastery Swift Spears, Grim Lavamancer. It's like a hybrid between that and a normal burn deck. You've got some Eidolons. You've also got Vexing Devil. So you could run into a trap where your opponent casts a turn 2 Vexing Devil with Seal of Fire on the field as well. It's the same deal. You might want to let it resolve depending on the circumstance and the context of the game. I don't know. Yeah, so that's that one. So what I'm going to be doing here today for everyone is I'm going to be going over a quick sideboard guide on what to do against them. I'll first of all just show you my deck the way I've got it at the moment. So the way I've got my deck right now is I've got 3 main deck Path to Exiles. I shaved 1 Spirit Mantle here. And only 2 Griffspoons over there. Still got the Ley Lines because they're still really good. They're very good against both of those decks, actually. So against goblins, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring in the path, torpor obs, and suppression fields from your sideboard. You're going to want to take out your core spirit dancers because they die way too easily, and then you're going to want to take out a spirit mantle to be mana efficient, and maybe a forest, maybe a dryad arbor. I'm struggling to find a spare slot to take out an extra card. What you'll notice with the munitions expert, it targets creatures, so it's not very good to have a core spirit dancer or a dryad arbor up. And that will deal damage to them or a planeswalker equal to the number of goblins the player controls. And the other thing is the Bomac Harbinger. No, where'd it go? Slingang Lieutenant. Slingang Lieutenant has to target a player to lose a life, and they gain a life, so they can't actually combo you if you've got your ley line out on the battlefield, which is pretty neat. Okay, so that is the sideboard advice for against goblins. Now the sideboard advice for against burn is pretty similar. So obviously we're going to be wanting our Path to Exile here. And Core Spirit Dance is going to be pretty weak. What have I been doing? I think it's just one path in and one core out. Although you could get a little bit fancy and try to turn them off of their turn to Chandra's Incarnation or whatever it's called. But yeah, I think for the most part you don't want to be using Force to destroy the Seal of Fire, and I think that's a little bit too cute. So yeah, in this against the mono red deck, just bring in bring in your Core Spirit Dancer. I'd take out a Core Spirit Dancer, bring in a Path. You could have the option of taking out another one or two Core Spirit Dancers for the suppression fields, but it seems pretty niche to me. And I think the better plan would be to just potentially use it to draw cards in late game. Alright, so excuse me. So just to go over this once again, this is my list here. Against goblins, I actually put a Hushbringer in there as well, for the extra Torpor Orb effect. I don't think it's hugely necessary. I don't even think we really have room for it. I think that's better suited to just be an extra Force of Vigor for Utron matchups. But yeah, that is what we've gone ahead and done today for you guys. I thought I'd do that right now. Mono Red is running around everywhere at the moment. It's a $50 budget deck that 5-0'd. And as far as I can tell, I think it's Magic Aids, the YouTuber, that went ahead and came up with the deck. Other than that, I'll just hide my camera quickly. Alright, so you can see the sideboard on the outside there. They've got Skullcrack, Smash for Smithereens, Searing Blood, Soulguard Lantern, Dragon's Claw, and Shrine. So yeah, this is a pretty easy win for us having ley lines, and now that we've got the high number of paths, you can sort of do an early path on one of their prowess creatures, or do a path on Chandra's Incineration and just get rid of that. Keep leyline hands, they're good. I've had two opponents scoop to leyline on game 2 or 3 without seeing me play a single land or Boggle or anything. Like, they just scooped to leyline because they didn't want to play it. This deck here, I actually versed this person online, and it's going to be on one of the videos. I think it's the video I'll be putting up on Saturday. Jim Davis MTG, he does Twitch, he does YouTube. You can actually go to his YouTube with his Conspicuous Snoop video and view the game which he played against me. You can do that ahead of schedule from where I'm putting my games up as well, if you want to do that for a little bit of a spoiler. I do scare him a little bit, but he eventually gets there and gets the win, which is unfortunate because I would have liked to have taken his scout because he's a pretty good Magic player, pretty well regarded, and obviously it'd be a bit of an ego boost for me if I was taking scalps like that. Having said that, I have beaten 2 versions of this Goblin deck already prior to versing him, so sort of the annoyance was I ran poorly when I versed him, where, yeah, I played like literally as tight as I could and I just didn't get there. So that's going to be it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, me rushing out my current deck list, and also the shout out on 2 decks to be aware of. I hope you get a chance to take advantage of it and grind some ticks. And other than that, I'm just going to be stopping this video here. It's a little bonus to you guys for being so awesome and supporting the content, and everyone that's been commenting on stuff and liking stuff. It's all been very appreciated. So thank you all for watching up until the end here. I'm going to end the video there. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and ring the bell for daily notifications. I don't feel like I need to say the other half. So thanks everyone. See you next time.